Yeah, we're back in the room.
Back
Back in
in
the
the
room. In the room. Back in the room. You know what? I was walking my dog this morning, and I was reminded of something. So I was taking Eddie out, and it used to be that if you walked your dog right, and then someone else was walking their dog, and they'd be coming straight towards you,
yeah.
you go, oh God, I have to go and talk to this person. The dogs are going to sniff around, and then the leads are going to
Right.
be tangled up, and
Yeah.
uh, it's going to be a thing, right?
Right.
And sometimes it's like early in the morning where you're barely awake and you have to do a human interaction, or it's in the evening
Oh, yeah.
when you're kind of tired, and you kind of go through all of that, and then COVID came and lockdown happened, and now what happened? And then what happened then was you'd walk down the road, someone's coming towards you, and one of you would go to the other side of the road, right? They would get out of your way so that you would pass each other, and then all you'd have to do is go, all right, all right. You know, because of the whole 6 foot thing, and you wanted to kind of stay apart from each other, right?
Yeah.
You just circle around each other. You wouldn't actually
Right.
do
Or
contact,
maybe even just a head gesture.
right? Yeah, just like a nod,
Right.
right? And now, obviously, the whole lockdown thing and everything's gone, but we still do that. We still, at least in my area, we still,
Strange.
if someone
Yeah.
comes towards you, you go to the other side of the road. It's like we've
Right.
all kind of gone, you know what? I think we all prefer it that way.
Mm. Yeah. But words didn't come out there. Yeah, it's not like that in Italy. But with my dog, he's really unpleasant with male dogs. So I usually have to like I'm really cautious anyway. And
Hmm.
by the time you're getting kind of quite close, you can like say, "Is it?" Or you shout, so, is it a boy or a girl?" No,
All
it's a
right.
boy. Oh, I'm sorry. And I
Fuck
usually
off.
say, if their dog is like massive male, like a Rottweiler or something, they always say,
Hmm.
"Oh, don't worry, mine's really, he's fine." I said, "No, no, dog, it's mine."
Yeah, it's not you, it's me.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's like exactly.
Um, the next thing that popped into my head was, you know how like we've been having on, I've been having ongoing discussions on and off about how much toothpaste you put,
Right.
on your brush, right?
The big
Because
issues.
every
We
time I
like to cover the
squeeze some
big
out,
issues.
the big important issues. And my dentist said, "Oh yeah, it's just about the size of a grain of rice, right?" And then you're like, "What the fuck?" And then you were saying that when you put the toothpaste on your brush, now you think of me saying,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, it's just a, you know, it's just a grain of rice amount, right?"
Yeah.
And now what now happens is, well, when I put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, I now think of you thinking
Right.
of me about
That's brilliant. I love it.
putting on.
Wow. There's
I
the
know.
cross-channel kind of vibe going on. Yeah. Okay.
It's just crazy how
See
how
now I'm going to think of you thinking to me.
yes, you're now going to be thinking of me, thinking of you, thinking of
Yeah.
me, to
And then
you,
the
to
next time we
me, to
bring
you.
this up in like we could bring this up in like another couple of months, it's going to be a very long and boring podcast. Yeah, I'm thinking of you, thinking of me, thinking
Yeah,
of you, thinking of me, thinking of you, thinking of me, thinking of you, thinking of you, thinking of me.
yeah. There we
Yeah.
go. That's just
Okay.
the podcast of it's just you and me thinking of each
Exactly.
other at various
That's
points of the
exactly.
day.
It's the kind of quality, like quality podcast content that we like to do.
Yeah. And
Well,
and you know what? Just to shake things up, we just decided off air that for some reason this was going to be a backwards episode, in that
mm,
I'm going to do the front end and you're going to do the back end, seeing as last
exactly.
episode you did the
So
back end so well. We can swap.
we swap to me, to you, to me, to you.
Right. So I think you should just introduce us to,
Yeah.
and you should just jump in and do the first line, which is, and welcome.
Welcome to ADHDville. Oh, that first part. Okay. And welcome to
Yeah, come
ADHDville.
on.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm a bit slow today.
That was a difficult start, but we
I'll
got
do the
there.
outro. Marty does the intro.
ADHD.
Hello, I'm Paul
Hi, I'm
Thompson. I
Paul
was
Thompson.
talking. Oh,
I'm I'm doing your bit.
okay, okay, okay.
Look,
Go.
this is a complete swap, right? We are
Oh,
completely swapping. We're just going for it.
okay.
All right. So I'm
Okay.
not Paul Thompson,
Yes.
that was diagnosed with combined AD and the HD 10 months ago.
This is weird. And I'm not Martin West, who was diagnosed with just ADHD. With just ADHD, there's more.
So we're just two mates who, by coincidence, after 39 years of friendship, discover that we're co-ADHDers.
Raw.
Now, it's really important to say that this is an entertainment podcast about adult ADHD and does not substitute for individualized advice from qualified health professionals. So don't take any advice from us. We're
No.
just here as an all inclusive ADHD park bench with room for everyone, including your doppelgangers, your alter egos, your body doubles, your chaperones, and your best buddies. Still here? Then grab your jetpacks, pedalos, space hoppers, or any other transportation methods and let us take you to ADHDville, an imaginary town we've created in our minds, where we like to explore different parts of the A and the D and the H and the D.
Oh, you did that better than me. Way better. Okay.
You, but then again, you did the outro better than I did
Oh,
last week.
I'm
So,
not so sure about that.
you know.
Anyway, so we start off down hole in the mayor's office where we will take care of the business. And on the agenda today, we've got a simple one. We've got a good, bad, and the ugly edition today, Martin.
Nice. And I also have, just so you know, a very little quick quiz, just to round things off. Just a fun little quiz.
We like a quiz.
We
Like a
do.
quiz.
We do.
So
All
what have you
right.
got? So where are you taking us, Martin? Are we going anywhere
Well,
nice?
let's jump into the cab.
All right.
And as always, I think we just go and grab a cup of coffee
Yeah.
at the coffee place. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump in the mayor's car. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where's the mayor's car? Jesus, it has been a bit slow of late. I think
Right.
someone put diesel in the engine,
Okay.
which is actually a good thing because it's actually a diesel engine.
A diesel engine.
But,
Right. Probably someone pissed in the tank.
I don't know.
Why
Well,
do people do
you know
that?
what?
Is that
Because we have
do people?
because
Yeah.
well, yeah, they do, but it it is election season currently, right? And I'm wondering
Right.
whether
Ooh,
there's been
sabotage.
some sabotaging going on.
Ooh, dirty.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. All right, the dirty, yeah, doing the dirty deeds.
Politics has got
All
dirty.
right.
Everyone's slagging each other off.
Yep. Blang blang blang. All right. Can I get you a drink, Mister T?
I think yes. I'm gonna go for what can I go for? I think I'll go for a cappuccino.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to go for a latte with oat milk, just to switch things up a little
Okay.
bit. The decaf, mind you, because I have to. Otherwise my world gets all a bit squiggly. Um, all right, good, bad, and the ugly. So this
Mm.
is our ADHD lives. What's been good? What's been bad? What's been ugly since we last caught up in it? Um,
Do you want to go first, Martin? What have you got?
I can
What's
go
good?
first. Well,
What's good in your
so where are
gaff
we
at the
now?
moment?
We came up to the end of August. What's been good? So uh, if you remember, I am in the process of trying to clear and clean my entire house so that everything is all
Yes.
is so that my house achieves this nirvana state of being somehow everything's all clean all at once. Um,
Right.
so
And you had
so we
guests.
had some guests. Yes,
Yeah.
we had some guests around this weekend, so I managed to clear. I've basically cleaned up the entire house. There is one cupboard, which is Eddie's cupboard, which is by the front
Mm.
door, where he has all his treats and his little coats and everything. Um, so that's the only little closet area that hasn't been cleared out yet. So I've got to do that today or tomorrow. But I'm really close,
Mm.
really close.
What are you like having guests staying at your house? Because we had guests last
What do
weekend.
you like? What do you like having
There's
guests
once,
around?
yeah. There's a saying. One person said was that the guests are like couple of days. They start to smell.
um,
And
you know what?
I love having guests,
Guests
but I
are
love it
always
when
hard
they've
work
gone.
when they're left. Um, yeah, it's. I always find that it's hard work before they arrive because I've got to clear up and clean up and all of that stuff. So I'm busy. So I'm tired when they turn up, and then I'm kind of like I don't want to talk to anyone, particularly because my mental capacity for such things is just gone. So I'm just sitting there very quiet. Um, and then yeah, if they're here overnight, then I'm usually better the second day, and then after that, I'm
Okay,
thinking yeah, and then but on the third day, I want my world back because
it's
it's such a
exhausting.
strain, yeah, because you're constantly thinking, where are they? What are they? Oh,
Mm,
they're in the bathroom. Oh, I need to go in the
yeah,
bathroom. Okay, well, uh, have I thought about, is there toilet paper? Did I put toilet
yeah.
paper in there? I mean, it's
Do I
just
need to
like,
wear pajamas?
right. Do they need tea, coffee? What do they want? I'm
Yeah,
going to have to ask them questions about
yeah.
drinks.
Right.
And then making is it right? No, God,
Yeah.
it's it's hard work.
Have they got
It's hard
special
work, but
needs?
I do
You
enjoy
know,
it.
have they got
S-
is there
Special needs
food?
like air.
Hmm?
I mean, yeah. So I do enjoy it generally. I like having
Yeah,
people over, um, but it is quite hard work. I will say.
yeah, yeah. I
So
like
yeah,
it, but
so
yeah.
that's been my
Okay.
week. So I've been quite task orientated. So my ADHD. So I have a punch list. I had a punch list every day. So my
Right.
what am I doing? I've got 4 or 5 things on my. So this has been going on for like the last couple of weeks. Where I've got a couple of things on my list. I've just
Mm.
been banging them out. So I've been quite productive,
Banging them out.
banging them
So
out, mate,
have
banging
you
them out.
have is your house as tidy as it was, or is it start to like you know going
Yes, it
already?
is because this has been going on for like a few months, right? So I'll clean up one room, and then the trick is I've got to maintain that room to be fairly clean. So my goal is that it has to be fairly clean, and that if someone came round, it would only take me about 10 minutes just to get it up to right
Mm,
to like. So it would only take me just running around the room quickly, doing a bit of dusting or who vacuum the floor, so and then
mm,
it'll be perfect. So every room is being kept pretty clean, and I've worked out that on Thursday mornings, this is the plan,
mm,
Stan. Thursday mornings, I'm going to spend 4 hours cleaning the whole house, and then that should be it. That should be it.
mm.
I should be able to do an
Okay.
entire clean house in 4 hours,
I had
in
talking of
theory.
house cleaning, I had a bit of an ADHD kind of meltdown on
Is this
when
in the
was it?
bad
Saturday.
section?
Well, it's just the theme. All right, I'll put it in the bad section. I'll put it in bad. Actually, it's better than the bad ones I've actually put in there. Okay, I'm
Oh,
actually
right.
rewriting the script. I'm gonna call it hoovering, Martin.
Rewrite
Okay, I'm gonna call it hoovering,
vacuuming.
vacuuming. Exactly.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So okay. Is that you finished with your good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's me goods.
I've
What you got?
been actually it's a similar
Telling me.
thing, Martin. As you know, I'm doing. It's just on a theme of finishing though. Finishing. Trying to finish my sculpture, and it's really hard to like stay on it. And I've realised I've got 3 or 4 sculptures that are unfinished. One of which I
Hmm.
started about 6 years ago. It's a giant, about half a meter long, and unfinished. Haven't touched it in. But at the same time, with this sculpture that I need to deliver for this deadline in October, it's really hard. I find it really hard to like stay disciplined on it. Paul, let's be disciplined about it. Let's get an arm done and it's finished, or a hand that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the next 2 hours, like okay, I'm or whatever. I stay on the hand, and okay, I finish the hand, and it's quite difficult to do. But I'm working on it. It seems to be working.
All right. Yeah. So you're just gonna breaking it all down into like
Yeah,
little small chunks,
yeah, exactly.
rather than thinking I've got to finish this whole thing, which feels overwhelming. You're kind of going,
Yeah,
well, let's just do this little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
here, and then that's
yeah,
enough. And then maybe just by doing these small steps, I can
yeah,
crack the whole thing.
yeah, exactly. So it's working
That's good.
actually. It's working because I'm like on the last part of it. The shape of it is about 98% finished. Shaping, modeling, 98%. It's getting it over that
Right.
line to 100%, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I'll be painting it, well, spraying it.
All right. Wow.
All right.
Cool.
And oh, by
Um.
the way,
Yes.
it's like harking back. It's like I'll just like put this on the end of that conversation. I've got this new product that I've ordered from an art shop because we had a
All
podcast
right.
all about ADHD and art supplies. I've got a
I
whole
remember it well. I enjoyed that.
tub of graphite powder.
Graphite powder.
Yeah. So like imagine your
Wow.
pencils, the graphite for your pencils. And it's
Yeah.
all and you just graphite out of the pencil. Yeah.
There we
Holding
go.
up
Look,
there for our YouTube
we
viewers.
don't have to. We don't have to imagine a graphite pencil. I'm holding one up to the camera.
It's okay. Point it in my
This
eye.
is. This is a who makes this one? I don't know. Oh, this is a Faber and Castell
Okay.
2B
Well,
pencil. By the way,
funny enough, my graphite powder is Faber Castell.
oh, is it?
What are the chances?
Come on. What are
Come
the
on.
chances? Come on,
Come on.
get in
It's
there.
a big tub. And basically, it's an old fashioned way. Apparently, it's been used for years. If you want like a metal effect, buffed metal, and
Hmm.
dark iron kind of effect, you basically you spray on first there'd be like a primer, then wait for the black spray paint to dry. As soon as like 2 hours after you've done the black on it, you start with your hand. You get handfuls of the graphite dust, and you start massaging it into the spray paint, and the
Oh,
effect is
that sounds very
phenomenal.
sensual.
It's very sensual. It's phenomenal the
No,
effect,
no.
and then you can buff it
All
if
right.
you want. If you want to buff, you
Cool.
can buff and
All
shinier.
right. All right. So you can
All right,
massage in the buff.
Superb. The
Nice.
good. So okay.
Loving that one. All right.
Yeah.
Now,
How about
we would
bad,
normally
Martin?
have.
Oh, I've got a bell. I've got a new bell, but I left it downstairs. Of course I did.
Oh, God damn it.
Shall I go and get it?
All right.
Hang on.
Yeah, I think it is. It
20
is worth.
seconds.
I am.
20 seconds.
You just go and run, and then I am. I'm going to just vamp for a bit. Yep. I'm just going to vamp. I was reminded this morning that when I was a kid, we used to have like candy cigarettes. Like it'd be a packet of like white candy cigarettes, and it was not only that, but we also had golden tobacco. I think it was called golden tobacco. So it's like rolling tobacco, but it was made out of coconut, and it came in a pouch. And what really triggered this off was I remember we used to have a licorice pipe. It was like a sort of a smoking pipe, black licorice with like red aniseed balls to represent the fire. So it was like when I was a kid, we had all these smoking products as sweets and as candy. I just thought that was nuts. And then Paul is back. I can see him. He's just come back into the room
With a new bell.
with a new bell, which is
sounds
which is great.
beautiful.
All right, so
Do you want to
all
hear
right.
it?
Well, let us
Or do you
ring
want to?
in.
Yeah.
No. So when you ring the thing bell, then we go
Yes.
to the next section. Ah, there we go.
Beautiful.
Oh, that sounds
This
very
is
nice.
sound. Yeah.
I like it.
A bit less
All
severe
right.
than the last one. So a nicer pitch.
Yeah, a little bit more genteel. I like it. It's a nice, pretty green color. I just saw on the camera.
Yeah. Show it up to the.
Very nice. All right. So, what's been bad about? I'll go first, I guess. Bad about my ADHD this week. Ooh, look at that! Very nice. Just showing the camera. Yeah. It's actually I've not been too bad this week. It's just really because I've been so focused on getting the house done that I've actually been quite productive, and I feel like I've had a pretty good week. But but the but the bad bits are still stuff that I'm putting off. So um, I've got to. I mean, I've still got 101 tasks that I have to get done, but I will get to it over the next month. But I think it's more about. So I have to start. I've got to start earning some more cash, right? So
Mhm.
I've not been doing any work for a bit. So I've got to kind of get my ass out there and get the freelance business up and running and get some clients and get some work. And that's going to take a while to do. And I'm putting it off. I'm putting it off, Paul.
Are you?
I've got to form my own little company, so that
Okay.
I can do it through the books. So I've got to
Yeah.
form a company, register that, and then I've got to get the portfolio together, which
Mm.
rather than it being because my portfolio of my work is for job hunting. It's like project by project. It's not really a freelancing portfolio.
Okay.
It, it Whereas I would have to break it up into branding and
Mhm.
graphic design, and I would have to kind of break it out into areas
Mhm.
rather than rather than by project. So I haven't done any
Mm.
of that yet, and
I
I've got to
I
get my
did the
ass in gear.
same. I did the same about 3 or 4 months ago. The way I got my arse into action, what worked for me was completely redesigning my online, video. Redesign it. I virtually started from scratch, rewrote it, as you said, change the structure. Um, you know, trying to be objective about it
Right?
and doing
Yeah.
that, and so that kind of the impetus.
Hmm.
Got
Yeah, that sounds good. I shall start there. Right, but then there's the thing of I've then got to reach out to people and get on, start
that's the
contacting
hard part.
people, and that is the bugger ass part.
That's a bitch.
Um, yeah, so I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, so that's the bad part.
Is there
What
because
about you, Mr. T?
I've always found that like the best way of networking actually, I don't know, go to a convention or something, and just like put yourself about a bit rather than, I mean,
Right,
I can't do phone calls or anything. Emails are crap. LinkedIn, I think, is a complete waste of time. Virtually nothing through like personally, I get nothing through LinkedIn. But then in Italy, it's a bit different. It's much more. Italy is
right,
much more about actual contact with people.
right. Yeah, no. In the States, LinkedIn is huge. I've got quite a bit of action from
Mm,
LinkedIn, because that's
okay,
basically where everyone goes. That is,
right.
if outside of recruitment agencies, that is, and they use LinkedIn as one of their main tools. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, that is the place to be for me, apparently.
Okay. Okay. So yeah,
Mr.
for me,
T,
bad hoovering, Martin.
bad
Hoovering. We touched on it
hoovering, vacuuming,
before. So here's the
if
here's
you're
the here's
American.
the here's the deal. Okay,
Yeah,
in
tell me.
Italy, they have
Yes.
types of plugs, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
therefore, 3 or 4 different types of sockets. So if you're moving around the
Oh.
freaking house with a really bad Hoover, you got sometimes the
Mm-hmm.
extension lead doesn't work because it's like, and you have to hand like 3 different adapters, and sometimes you don't. I can't find it. Quite often, I can't find it, and it drives me insane.
Wow.
Whereas this is where Dyson comes in. If you have a Dyson, and they cost a fortune, but
Mm-hmm.
they're nice.
Yeah.
It's like I that's so I'm thinking. I told my girlfriend, okay, we're going to invest in a new Hoover because
Mm-hmm.
it's really badly designed. It's got like a floppy head, and it just doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work very well, and it's heavy and it's old.
All
Trying to
right.
find different adapters for different sockets, and I had a little bit of a meltdown with it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was driving me crazy because well, we'd had a little bit of an argument at work, so
Right.
grumpy anyway. Then having never the right socket, never the right plug. Anyway, in the end, I got it done. I did have a shout
Right.
though.
A
Expletives
shout.
were. I used some expletives.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Because if you're listening in the UK, you have one plug socket. You have your three
exactly.
pin
Yeah,
plug.
it's
In the
one
States, we have two. We have two. Um,
because there's like
so,
there's a Italian type. There's two types of Italian plugs, and there's two types of German plugs. We have
all right.
right. Edital. And there's no logic behind it. Oh, if it's a
Right.
higher powered thing that you're using, you move on. Well, often it's to to the German plugs. If it's a more high powered club, like if you're using it like a rotary, like a what do you call them? I'm trying to think what you call them
I
in
don't
English.
know,
If
Paul.
you like power tools, if you're using power tools, you go
Okay.
to the German a German plug and a German socket, but you don't always have those to hand. You might not have a
All right.
German socket where you're working. Oh, it's mental. Point being,
That sounds
it's
like a
like if you
nightmare,
can
Paul.
have, yeah, it is a nightmare, Martin. It is. It is. So if you have a Dyson, it's like it's charging by itself. Obviously, ADHD, but they cost a fortune, don't they? Dyson, it's like £400 or £500. They're ridiculously expensive,
Yeah. I have.
but makes your life a lot easier.
I have. But I don't use a Dyson for one reason, which is I think they are a con.
Oh, do you?
Now, yes,
Oh,
because in the old days, we used to have Hoover bags, right? Vacuum
yeah.
bags, right? You get these like little
Mm,
brown bags and you shove them in and you vacuum, and then all the stuff went into the bag, right? And then they went with a bagless vacuum, right?
yeah.
Where you basically vacuum and then you get this, then you take this cylinder out and you empty that out into the trash, right? And for years I thought, hang on a second, I've got all this dust and shit that I'm now breathing in because I'm now dumping it out
Yeah.
into trash. Now this is cloud of dust in my face. And I'm like,
Which
this
is
can't
really
be good.
bad, isn't it? It's bad
Right.
stuff.
So I now have, and I've gone back to the bag system.
Have
So I
you?
now have, yeah, and I much
Flash
prefer it.
news. Flash
I
news.
much prefer it. Dyson
What?
Con,
Right.
well, but
I
only for that aspect of it.
right. I'm in agreement with them. I was looking for a new fan, and I looked at Dyson, and they look really nice. But you know what? One of the reasons I wanted them was because I wanted one that didn't make any. The Dyson fan makes as much noise as any other cheap, cheap
All
fan.
right.
So I was like, oh, what's the point?
Uh,
It just looks good.
what's what's the bloody point?
What's the point in that?
What's the bloody point in that? I don't know, mate.
Okay. Anyway,
Um.
a little chat
All
about
right.
Hoovers, Martin.
Oh, you know what? We are as domestic as they come. You and me
It's a
both.
bit embarrassing. We used to be a
Um.
bit more hardcore, a bit more, going to raves, coming
Uh.
back from
y-
London, stopping off on the way back at the
Yeah.
kebab house at 5 o'clock in the morning. In where did we used to
Mm-hmm.
stop? Croydon? No, Mitcham,
Oh no, it was like Streatham.
Streatham High Street. A kebab house is open
Yeah, Streatham
all
High
night
Street.
for a kebab.
It seemed that
Yeah.
way, yeah.
Now we're talking about Hoovers.
Mhm.
Bagless,
Yeah.
bag or bagless Hoovers.
Bagged or bagless? Where do you sit on this very important question? All right,
Yeah.
so all right, that's the bad done.
Yeah.
That's bad. So it's time for the cowbell of change. There we go. Oh, there we go. I quite like that. It sounds quite,
It is. It's quite
yeah,
satisfying. I
yeah,
think
ugly.
it's like
Yeah.
really heavy.
All
I think it
right.
might be made of some lead content in there. Some.
It's a heavy metal cowbell.
Yeah. It's probably for
If
goats.
you're a musician, you're laughing right now.
It's like a
Um,
classic. I think it's a goat bell.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Is there a picture on the front of it?
Of the bell? No.
Yeah.
No.
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 All right.
No. Just chipped and marked and
Oh,
yeah.
okay. For some reason, I thought it was like.
No.
All right. See, I don't really have a real ugly ADHD
Don't you?
story. No, I because it's actually been quite a good ADHD time. Apart
Okay.
from the fact that I'm putting things off generally, but I think I'm actually kind
Mm.
of way more on top of it. And I think it's something to do with, I think I'm better with my ADHD symptoms in the summer than I am in the winter.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. I think because of the outside and the vitamin D that you kind of get from the
Right.
sun, and I'm much more
That's
active
true.
during the
And the
summer.
food that
Like
you
I'm out
eat,
there,
the food that's
and I
in
smell it, and
season.
the food and the fresh food I'm eating from the back garden, and yeah. So there's a lot of really things going really well. I think my when it starts to get into the winter months, that's when I struggle a lot more.
Okay.
So that's when
Okay.
that's when I get more ugly, I guess. Get more
Ugly.
ugly.
I've got an ugly.
All right,
I've been getting a
ugly
lot.
me up, bad boy.
I've been getting a lot of headaches and migraines in the last few weeks.
All right,
Literally last week, I've like migraine every day, and it was a really not like I don't get migraines like some people get them like really, and they have to shut themselves away with no sound in like a blacked out
mm-hmm.
no light. I'm not that bad, but it's still quite unpleasant. And I was, funnily enough, when I was taking the meds, ADHD meds, Ritalin, I didn't have any
Yes.
headaches or migraines at all. So the meds really, really helped me with that. So, but I'm off the meds, as you know. But I thought I'd look into it about how ADHD and migraine not pathologically related in the sense that they think that people who have ADHD get migraines and headaches, but not as a direct result of ADHD. They say we're more likely to get headaches and migraines because of the associated stress related to having ADHD. If that makes sense.
Right.
So that's that. So yeah, migraines. It just especially when you get when it's overcast, I get really bad migraines. I can almost feel them coming on.
All right.
Yeah, like
That's
2 days ago, it was overcast. And it's like, oh god, here it comes. Yeah, because the
right.
pressure
All right.
gets it's like low pressure, low air pressure, and yeah, it's almost a guarantee. So yeah, that's the ugly part of
That's a
it.
bastard.
It's a bastard. It's a
I've just
bastard.
had I've just had two texts, right? Two texts while you've been chatting. One was I was saying that I need to get working.
Oh,
It
right.
said someone reaching out. My old boss has reached out who's forming a little short term contract and is pulling together a team by the
Mm.
sounds of things to kind of do a pitch, and I've been pulled into that as the creative
Cool
person.
beans. Great.
Um, so who knows about that?
That's great. That's good.
So
Because
that's
you like
good.
me, you're apart from your ADHD is better in the summer, but it's also my ADHD is better when I've got a routine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Like because I try because my autistic side, my undiagnosed autistic side, just say, likes routine, and I try and use that to kind of bring my ADHD into line a little bit more. So
Hmm.
if I can put a process or a routine of I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then that makes my world just run so much smoother.
Right.
Um,
Mm.
yeah, is that you?
Is
I mean,
there?
it can't be all this this regimented structure because my ADHD side doesn't want that whole structure. It just wants to do its own thing. So
Yeah.
it's like
It's
it's like
a
yin and
double-edged
yang.
sword, isn't
It's
it?
like
Because also, if you're keen, that usually means a routine is, you know, interactive. In my case, teaching 3 days, it's interacting with 300 students, maybe up to
mm-hmm,
the teachers, let alone parents, during the end of term. Um, but that and in that environment, there's more masking going on, or I guess an element of that, which is stressful.
mm-hmm.
Just not all good. I guess it depends
No,
if the routine. I mean, generally the
yeah,
routine. If I have a routine that I'm making up for working from home, um, that doesn't really work for me as a routine. It doesn't help my ADHD. A routine that takes me out of the house. I'm maybe having to drive to get to a location, working with other people, set time, kind of, you know, s- kind of habits, continual habits. Then that's the kind of the only routine that actually helps me. I find,
yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah.
now because
Habit,
I've
absolutely.
been,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Go on.
go on.
Okay. Um, especially I don't know if it's just a coincidence or whatever, but I've as a teacher I've had 3 months off over the summer because in the
Mm-hmm.
summer everything stops for 3 months in Italy. 'Cause- So I've noticed a decline in my memory, for instance, because of the lack of
Wow.
routine.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. It. Yeah. It worked. Yeah. That's why am I going? Yeah. 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 But yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, because if I'm on a routine busy and I've got deadlines to meet and everything, or people to make happy, I can when I'm on it, I'm really on it, and I'm as sharp as a tack. But now I'm kind
Mm-hmm.
of lull. It's a nice lull, but my memory isn't good, and I forget
Yeah. Yeah.
things. Um,
Yeah.
I'm less reliable. I
Yeah.
mean, I really forget stuff.
I know. There's almost this thing of like you're either all on and just
Yeah,
fucking banging it out like a
yeah,
machine, or like some sort of German
yeah,
android, just really nailing the whole thing. And then the other switch it's like this two. You're either in mode one or mode two,
yeah,
and mode two is like
yeah,
a useless sack of shit.
yeah.
You know,
Well, before I
who
got
can
the
who can barely do anything.
right, exactly, just a what's it called? What are they called? A
A mess.
An amoeba.
An amoeba. A
An
single-celled
amoeba.
organism.
Amoeba. Exactly. Like a
You're
blob.
just a protozoa, Mr. T.
I forgot what I was
I
going to
know.
say now.
All
God, even
right.
before years before I got my diagnosis for ADHD, I was always
Mm-hmm.
saying to people, life, all or nothing, all or
Yeah.
nothing.
Yes.
It reminds me of like when I did the London Marathon. I did the most idiotic thing you could possibly do. It's it was the first and the only marathon that I will ever do. I was limbering up, warming up on Blackheath at the start of the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I went off with the semi pros, like the clappers,
Because you thought,
all or
you know what?
nothing.
Right.
I did the half marathon in an hour and 20 minutes. The half marathon,
Jesus.
right? An
Right.
hour and 20 minutes. I finished the full marathon in 5 hours.
Oof.
The wheels fell off because nothing. I
Oh.
just saw these runners. I thought, oh, I'll go with them. They were semi-pro. They were ridiculous.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You know what? That doesn't surprise me about you in the slightest. In the slightest. That is such a Thompson thing to do.
Right.
Oh, fucking
Ambitious,
yeah.
but
I can
a
do
bit
this.
stupid.
I can do this.
I
Yeah.
could
And
do
then,
this.
like, an hour in, it's like
Yeah. Then I
regrets.
started hallucinating. I literally hit the wall. I started hallucinating, going around Canary Wharf,
Oh, nice.
right, which is just
Yes.
after the halfway
Yes.
mark. I saw a marker that said there was only 5 kilometers to go. I looked at my watch. Like, oh, blimey! I'm going to finish it in like under like 2.5 hours. I went to the next marker, and it said there's 20. It was like it was like double, and it's like
Oh, Jesus.
oh, it's like, yeah.
I'm going backwards. I'm going backwards.
I was seeing things. I was going
Oh,
backwards. Yeah,
I love a good hallucination story.
and that was destroying. It's like oh god, you know,
Oh, yeah. That would kill you. That would
it
kill
was
you.
destroying. Yeah, and it's also
Oh,
boring. It's the boring part of the race going around freaking, Canary Wharf.
all right.
The crowds are
All
smaller as
right.
well.
I'll
Anyway,
take your word for it. All right. Let's jump into the cab and let's go to the post office.
the
I
post
think.
office. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Come on.
Come on.
Ah, man, we should get this place a bit of paint.
The
Just because
post office. Yeah.
yeah. Just
It's like
fucking
one of those post offices from 1970s in England, isn't it?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
off
yeah.
the ceiling.
I know. Um, there's been there has been lots of good comments, but uh, I'm not going to read out any.
Why? Because you lost them.
uh, what?
Have you lost them?
Yeah, I do. Um, I'm just reading this. Sorry. It's this a job that suddenly
Oh, okay.
pop up. She's saying, "Has she shared any details of this project?" And I'm like, "I know nothing. Um, I literally know nothing about this job." Um, it it is funny though, and I think this is a really interesting thing. I don't know whether you've found this before, but there are certain, like when you're out there and you're doing your job or whatever, there are certain people that you come across that you kind of get on with from a professional point of view,
Hmm.
and then they are worth investing in the relationship, because when they
Mhm.
move on, or you move on or whatever, at some point they phone you up and go, "Oh, I've got a job for you,"
Yeah.
and then they pull you into some other
Mhm.
job or project. And I've got about two or three people that over the last 15, 20 years just will phone me up, will phone me up occasionally and then get me a job somewhere.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
it's quite
Okay.
nuts. In fact, you and I, right? You know, I've been let go of so many jobs, but then that's the nature of advertising
Mm.
industry. You know, you just
Yeah.
you can, if your agency loses a client, then
Yeah.
chances are, through no fault of your own, you're out as well.
Yeah.
Um, but I was out
Or
of a job.
you get someone new coming in, new boss comes in, they wanna
Oh
make
yeah.
their mark,
Hmm.
bring their own people in.
Yeah, that happens. That's happened to me many times. Um, but I can remember I was out on my ear at one point, and then I phoned you up and I said, "Anything going around your way?" And you're like,
Mm.
"Yeah, come around
Yeah.
here, have
Yeah.
an interview." So
I think I'd
it's like
literally
it's
just started as well, but that was in London.
yeah, it
Yeah.
it is who you know. I mean, it you know, yes, it helps I'm male and it helps I'm white. Um, so there's a certain amount of privilege that kind of comes with that. But even so, the relationships that you build with people. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
so this
Reputation's everything, isn't it?
right. So this woman who's phoned me up about a job, this would be, yeah, so she hired me, quite a few years ago. Then she hired me for a second job. So this would be the third thing, the
Mhm.
third, the
Yeah.
third. Um,
I have the same because I've basically only working with one agency right now, and it's a bit of a drip kind of. It's like sometimes 3 or 4 months pass and there's nothing, and all of a sudden a nice chunky job comes along, and they're always like really. They got on the phone and said, "Oh, this job came up. This job came up, and I thought of you," and it's really cool. Yeah.
yeah,
But it's getting this. It's getting from me as 57-year-old, brand creative director. The opportunities are running a bit dry, right? Which is
running a little thin.
a
I
little
know.
bit
I hear
thin.
you. I
Yeah.
hear you. All right. So, it's just so this is so we've just gone to the post office just to say, yeah, if you, yeah, could go to our comments, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube
Yes.
or on the podcast, is to drop us a line.
Yes.
Um, people have been saying some amazingly great things. Um, so thank you
It makes
so much
such a
for
difference.
those
Yeah.
that actually do just. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything. Just like say hey, just say hi.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
It
it lifts our spirits to the
it
sky
does to the sky and beyond.
and beyond. Well, let's go back for a quick quiz,
Oh
which I
yes, there's a
prepared
quiz.
thus minutes earlier. Right, jump in, let's go.
Handbrake turn.
Right, I know, right? Well, we're a little bit on a time crunch now, so this is going to be this is just a random. This is a no theme quiz of three random
Oh, okay.
questions that I thought were just fun. All right, so it's just going to be three questions, and each one has three possible answers.
Okay.
You just have to pick out the in this. You know the way. Our
I know the
standard
format.
the the standard quiz format. All right. First question: in
Yes.
some parts of Texas,
Oh,
is it illegal to swear in front of A, the state flag, B,
Swear in. Okay.
yeah, like like
Okay. Okay.
fucking
Yeah.
hell, mate.
Yeah.
God blimey, shove it up your ass, you bastard.
Right. Or as they say
Um,
in America, to
that kind of
curse. To curse in front of the flag.
to curse. Yeah, in front of the state flag.
The state flag. The state flag. Okay.
Yeah, the
Right.
Texas, right, because there's the American flag and then each state has its own flag,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So New
Got
York
it.
has a
Got it.
flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, B, a priest,
Okay. Any priest.
or, yep, I just have that here, a
Hmm.
priest, a man of the cloth,
Man of the cloth.
or C, a dead person.
Oh.
A, B, or C.
Okay. I know a funny
What do
story
you
about
think?
Ozzy Osbourne pissing against the national monument in Texas. Got arrested in a woman's
Oh,
dress.
blimey.
Anyway, that's for another time. I'm
Yeah,
going to
that
say
would do it.
C. It just sounds the most unlikely, most ridiculous. Dead person.
And you'd be right. You'd be right.
Oh, straight off the
Yes.
mark.
1 for 1. Straight off the bat, you're off to a
Can't
strong start.
swear in front of a dead person. That's amazing.
No, in
I
some
did hear
parts of Texas.
buggery. Isn't there some states in the south where buggery
Oh, blimey.
is illegal?
Yeah, yeah. I would think so. All right. Question number 2. Speaking of, what a weird segue
Speaking of buggery,
from buggery to Uranus,
right?
the
Of
the
course,
the
the planet.
planet Uranus was first named. So the first name before it became Uranus,
Right?
was it A, George?
Oh
Was it
God,
B, Modo? Or was it
Modo.
C, Plop? Was it
Oh
George,
come on,
Modo, or Plop?
Modo.
You'd like it to be, wouldn't you? No, because I thought of what should I call it? I thought of Quasi Modo,
Modo, and
but
then
no, it isn't Modo. It was going to be called George after King George III, who was
wow.
on the throne at the
Okay,
time.
okay. It's
Yeah.
it's a Jesus's foreskin.
Oh, we're back to that, are we? That
Yeah,
was a Saturn.
the rings of Saturn that are the once there was a theory by a Vatican
Right.
um, scientist thought that these the rings around Saturn were actually Jesus' skin post.
Right.
Yeah, but no. Okay, got
Um
it.
weirdly it that whole thing came up again last week when apparently that is also Jesus's wedding ring. So
Okay,
I think there was a woman. I think she was a nun. She was the abbotess, I think. Then she had a dream that she was marrying Jesus, and the wedding ring was Jesus's extra parts.
wow. Okay,
Yeah, I know. It's like once it comes up, then you keep hearing the goddamn thing. All right. So this is a 50-50.
okay.
So according to a study that was done in Scotland
All right.
with Scottish cows. So
Ah,
if you're Scottish,
were they weak
perk
cows
up
or
your
big?
ears because we're going to be talking about Scottish cows. That was terrible. Did do Scottish cows prefer A, classical music, or
Mm,
B, country music?
classical.
So how they determined this was that they
I've
had
heard
some
something
cows.
about this.
They played
Uh,
it some music, and then
yeah.
it all depended on the milk yield.
Mm.
So one of
I've heard.
them was, go on.
I think it's. I think I've heard about this. I think it's classical.
So what, you think that they like classical music more, or
They
they
like
hate
it.
classical music?
They like classical music.
They do like classical music. So the yes, and they hate country music,
Hated
which is,
even.
yeah. Well,
So the
they
yield
they
was
preferred it.
reduced.
Yeah. So yeah, there was less music. Music. There was less
Right.
milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. So
There you go. So you
is there a
did.
prop?
So you won. You got 2 out of 3. That is a win.
I'll take that.
Is it not? Yeah.
You know. Okay.
All right.
We do like a quiz.
So I think we do. So let's just shovel ourselves off into the outro, shall we,
Yes. Yes.
Mr. T?
Yes. Okay. So we're back in the town hall. We got in the car. And ADHDville is delivered fresh every Tuesday to all purveyors of fine podcasts. Please subscribe to the pod and rate us most magnificent. And feel free to correspond with at will in the comments. But wait, there's more. If you wish to see our beautiful, beautiful faces, Sally Forth or Sally Fields, to the YouTubies or the TikTokies, you can also, if you feel the will, pick up a quill. Email us at adhdville@gmail.com. But in the meantime, be
fucking kind to yourself.
And I beseech
Paul?
you, fellow ADHDers, know thyself unto the hounds. Come hither and get the flesh.
Nice.
There, says the mayor. That's that.